Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super discussion video, and I am once again joined by the one, the only, the other half of the dynamic duo. MJ, why don't you say hello to everyone?
Glorious. Oh, glorious. Hello.
This guy. I never know when you're going to stop singing, so that's one thing. Anyway, guys, today we're going to be discussing, as you saw in the title, you saw in the thumbnail, are there too many warriors in the Tournament of Power? And basically what I mean is, look, I think I was definitely kind of taken away by this when they first announced it back in December, and I'm sure you were as well. And now we've just been kind of pulling back the layers of this tournament as we see it play out. Is 10 too many? I mean, look how many people they had to reintroduce, the build-up for this particular arc, and all of the character-centric episodes that we're getting and we're dying to see. But we have episodes like this last one, episode 105, I believe it was. You know, Ten Shinhan doesn't get his due. He's just there for basically filler. We don't know how important he's going to be later on, whether or not this tournament is going to evolve into something else. But yeah, it just feels like they said 10 just to kind of have a nice round number, and they weren't ever really planning on giving everyone their main episode. I mean, because if they did that, they would have to give literally everyone in Universe 10 a main episode or something to kind of shine with, and then they would also probably have to give everything or something to at least Toppo and Jiren and Hit and Caulifla, Kale, Kaba, Frost, and not that we're not going to see that stuff, but it gets kind of ridiculous, you know? And also we just have so many people from all the other universes completely getting tossed off the side here and there and, you know, over there, and to the point where they're sitting there in the last couple of episodes and said, like, half of those people are gone. We barely got to see anyone fight, and there are even some really cool people, especially in Universe 3. I'm looking directly at Universe 3 when I say cool people that are already eliminated that I wish had already fought. And then there are people in Universe 2 who are really awesome, who haven't gotten any shine even though they refuse to be taken out. So man, what are your thoughts on this? Too many people or just enough?
Too many. End of the video. Make sure you guys like this video, share with your friends. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think it was just like a round number, you know, good even number. They didn't need to really, need 10. They didn't need to introduce 17 again. They didn't need to add Ten Shinhan and Krillin to the tournament, especially since at the time it was mentioned that Krillin was already done fighting. They had to make those filler episodes, I believe 74 and 75, to get him back into fighting. You know what I mean? So they didn't really need to do that. It probably could have just been good with what, 5? You have Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Majin Buu, right? Go on, that's it. But, you know, if they wanted to do the whole Frieza comes back, you know, have Buu go to sleep, Goku goes and fights those other guys, they don't want to fight, so he goes and he gets Frieza, you know what I mean? Simple as that. But they didn't really need these other 10. And in a way, it kind of hurts because now, for, at least in my opinion, we're going to see other characters get dropped off. Well, okay. We know Frieza's going to get a moment. He has to. He has to get a moment. 18's already had her moment with Krillin, so if she gets and she's also been very helpful against the Pride Troopers. She's already eliminated, I believe, 2. So, or she helped, you know, and she's also helped with other eliminations as well. So she's been helpful. So if she gets taken out, it wouldn't really be that much of a waste. And Roshi, for God's sake, has got his own damn episode. So if he gets taken out, then it wouldn't really be any waste. Damn, Ten Shinhan's really the only wasteful one. Man, they fucked him over.
Well, I mean, Krillin, we could say, like, Krillin did get at least a little shine, but he didn't get like an episode or any push or pull. I mean, for the most part, he did get the kind of build up for the tournament, but
yeah, they really did screw Tien over, bro. Now that I think about it.
But I'm just saying, like, Krillin was given a lot of shine going into the tournament, and then he also got some really funny moments. And if the last couple of episodes are anything to take for granted or something, you know, we got Krillin, who's going to be like basically the team cheerleader moderator for the entire tournament, and we thought that was going to be Beerus and Whis and all this other stuff, but the more and more people they start throwing out of the tournament, the less and less focus that those people are going to get. And I'm talking about everyone. I'm talking about Champa, Beerus, you know, Krillin, Ten Shinhan, anyone else who gets completely taken off, and that is kind of a shame. I mean, you have kind of like a group. You have a group instead of individuals and stuff like that. And we got some really awesome moments with Krillin on the sidelines before too many people start piling up on there, where, you know, Master Roshi had his episode and we got Goku and Krillin and Master Roshi kind of reliving the past. I mean, that was tough. That was emotional stuff. But but when you really look at it, I'm hard pressed to say that all of this was worth it. I'm really hard pressed. Like you said, you got Boo, Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, and Gohan. It's like, that's the team. That's the team we wanted for the last tournament. Gohan's like, Dad, I'm with you. I'm totally for this. Let's train. I'm going to get strong. And then they come in. Gohan's the team leader. And they sit up, and everyone, like Boo, if he falls asleep, they get Frieza because no one else wants to participate. And you could still have the build-up episodes, like going and pleading and begging, and people's like, I want this or something, and Goku can't give it to him. They're too afraid to tell them of the stakes, or maybe they do, or something else like that. It's just, yeah, it would have worked. It just would have been a little weird if they wanted Frieza, and they would be like, well, you know, it has to be Frieza because there's no one else. It's like, well, what about Trunks, Goten, 18, 17? Like, you know, like, hell, give us Master Roshi.
I was going to say, I still find it weird, though, that some of these guys were actually kind of a bit upset when they found out about the universe erasure and how they didn't want to, and how Goku had to lie to them to get them to compete. I'm just thinking, Ten Shinhan, and I don't like this dude because he says some other questionable shit in fucking Z as well. This dude is there sipping his tea saying no to Goku. You're telling me this dude was about to get his head squashed in by Drum and King Piccolo, and Goku saves his ass and he can't spare 48 minutes? Like, it's not like this dude's asking them to come fight with him for like a week or like fight an army. He's just saying, come with me for 48 minutes. Like, they can't spare 48 minutes. And what's up with Krillin too? Goku saved his ass multiple times. So
well, Krillin, he lied to Krillin. He didn't. I don't remember.
That's
he
true.
Didn't really lie to Ten Shinhan. I mean, like it.
But he did state if Goku didn't mention money, he wouldn't compete. So
that's true. Like,
that's fucked up, bro. I'm just thinking about that.
But Krillin has kids. He has responsibilities. But agreed, it's 48 minutes. Suck it up. Like, just take a sick day. Take a personal day from work. But I mean,
just take the morning off. He's not. Fuck.
To take the week. I mean, God, if you win. But
that's true.
To be serious. Like, yeah, there's just too much. Too many people fighting in this tournament, and I think one of the problems with that is, if that actually becomes the case, say we can make an easy case for, yeah, like it would just be those 5 in Universe 7. And then you also have the Pride Troopers, will just, you know, Jiren, Topo, Dispo, the girl who makes the dimensions, and the general, something like that. Yeah, that works for me too. That works. Nobody else really matters. No other team matters very much. The only one that really matters, strangely enough, is Universe 6. Because and I'm not saying they did this entirely for Universe 6, but if you think about it, they didn't have to, besides nostalgia and maybe toy sales and stuff, which was probably a big indicator for what they did or why they wrote the story the way they did. But story-wise, if there was only 6 people, or 5 people, I mean, you would have situations where you wouldn't have Kale and Caulifla. There would be no reason to have them. And if there was, then you would get rid of Botama Magetta, which might be okay considering the fact that they were kind of scrubs in the last tournament, considering their weaknesses. But at the same time, it's like, why would you want to get rid of those guys? Those guys are tanks. And we've seen how useful they were before Gohan took Botamo out. But we've seen how useful they are going into this fight. So you really lose that, and I don't see anything else that you really lose. Maybe I'm missing something.
That is true, and that would be one of the downsides to having less than 10 members, you know? That's where it would kind of hurt the tournament, because we wouldn't get to see all these new characters, because even though, you know, the tournament is 48 minutes, 10 fighters each, we're getting a look at these Namekians that we haven't even, you know, been introduced yet. We got to see Kel and all that stuff. We got to see all these different members of the Pride Troopers. Granted, they could have been introduced in another way, another arc, you know. that's fine. I'm just saying we got to get introduced to them, now in the tournament. So that would have been one of the, I guess, downsides, one of the flaws of having less than 10 members. I guess to say we also wouldn't have gotten Frieza, but then again, the thing is, would we have needed Frieza? Probably not. But I gotta say, like in wrestling, there's a term called a run. It's when a wrestler comes back, has a run for about a year or two, then he leaves, whether it's due to family or he does another job, and then he comes back again. A good example of this is The Rock, because The Rock makes movies. He left, he came back, left, and came back again. Now, one of those runs sucked really bad. he wasn't as good as he once was. Wasn't funny. Wasn't that entertaining. Now with Frieza, I liked him in his first run. I hated him with the Mecha Frieza gimmick. He had a bad run with ROF, but right now, currently, he's having one of the best runs of his career. I mean, life. You know what I mean? I found him so enjoyable. He's funny. He's entertaining. He's ruthless. I just loved everything about Frieza so far since he's come back, which I never thought I would say. So that's one, I guess, the benefits also having the extra fighters. We got to get Frieza to return, so there's that. But again, do we really need him? No, but it was fun.
And that's the thing that I really kind of hate about this is when you have so many characters in only a 30-minute show. And I know a lot of people use, it's a 30-minute show, you think too heavily about the story, it's not supposed to be set up this way. I completely understand that. When you do have a 30-minute show and you have all of these characters and you make it a point to have all these characters, and even if that point is we just want to sell some goddamn toys, then fine, that's great. One of the things we should do is give every one of those characters a spotlight. But it's obvious from what we've said about especially Ten Shinhan, but also Krillin and some of the other people that we've seen, that's not really their focus. They literally have 10 characters. They found 10 characters, at least in my opinion, as a roundabout number equal amongst the entirety of all the universes in order to kind of peg or just fit in some characters they thought would be marketable down the road. Like Frieza again is really marketable. Caulifla is marketable. Kale, maybe those Namekians are going to be selling stuff once we see them and do what they do. I mean, that's really the case here. And I'm just saying, as a fan, I feel like we could have had some much more impactful storytelling if they had kept the number down.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. Well, it's kind of like a double-edged sword to me anyways. I've loved it, but then we didn't really need it,
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, that's just something about that. Anyway, guys, I want everyone to go down to the comment section below and share with us your opinions about this. Do you think that having 10 people is a good idea? Do you think it was a little bit too much of an overkill? Why do you think they did it? And I want everyone to go down to the description section below and please hit that link to go subscribe to MJ. Follow him on YouTube, follow him on Twitter, follow me on Twitter because we're always on Twitter. Both him and I. He's on more than I am, but whatever. Anyway, guys, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell over by the subscriber button for notifications every time I upload. And with that, we're going to catch you on the next video. It's been real.